Hello everyone, good afternoon, hope all is well. Hopefully you'll hear an improvement in the sound. I restarted the machine and did all sorts, it was all a bit fuzzy and a bit bubbly, and hopefully this is better. Hope you had a nice lunch, a nice break. I'm just going to do my sound checks there, having said it's all working, I hope it is. But lovely to see everybody. How are you? Let's have a look. So hello Inga. Yeah, it's 3:30 BST we start, so halfway through the hour. And hello Gwen, glad you're enjoying it. Muriel, can't find the PDF score. Oh, okay. Mark will be along in just a moment. So Mark, if you're listening, can you please send Muriel, that is Muriel Powell, can you send her a link to the PDF score, please? That would be great. Hello Angie, great to see you. And who else is here? Victoria and Joy and Jill and Nina and Julie. That's great. No more C3PO. That's good. No idea why that happens. It is just, I think it's this workhorse of a computer. I think it gets a bit hot. But I shall do a sound check before every session from now, which is a little bit annoying, but I'll do it anyway. You're worth it. You're worth it. Okay. Let's just check that we can hear everything. Tum 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 tum. Should be nice and quiet in the house because Anna's gone to get Katie from school. Worth it. Yeah, good. Okay. Let's just check that we can hear everything. Bass and everything. Tum 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 tum. Should be nice and quiet in the house because Anna's gone to get Katie from school. That's all sounding okay. Should we just do a bit of Rutter? Good. Excellent. Right. So we have sound to a piano. Marvellous. Good. Excellent. Could do with a little bit more piano on that, I think. Just a smidge. Okay, so we are ready to go. How is everybody doing? Excellent. Karen's been singing through all the music with alto and without. Wow, fabulous. Hi Breda, great to see you. Jan, Ben, getting repeat feedback from you. What does that mean? Oh yes, if you meant you could hear me, it's because I was playing out of the phone. So I can hear, I checked the broadcast, but of course there's a delay. So yes, I can appreciate that might have been a bit confusing, but hopefully that's gone because I've turned the phone off. Excellent. Joy says it's roasting here in Malvern. It is unbelievably hot in this room. So yes, I've got my iced water. The fan is on. You can probably hear a bit of in the background. And yeah, it's going to be a bit grotty, but it could be worse. Could be tomorrow. It's going to be 4 degrees hotter at this point, or even Thursday, where it's going to be 31 degrees Celsius here in Bristol. So it is going to be extraordinarily hot for the basses. So consider yourselves lucky altos. Oh, fab. Paul has been picking raspberries. That's lovely. I hope you brought enough for the entire class. Hello, Marie and Mary from Illinois. Great to see you. Pam says, police helicopters are circling Lutterworth. Have they found you, Pam? Better hide under the table. Catherine liked the triangle circle. Good. I'm glad you like the triangle circle. I'll tell you what, for those of you who are experienced choral singers, if you ever have to do anything in 5/8 or 7/8, triangle circle is a lifesaver. It really is. Because if you're doing something in 5/8 or 5/4, and it's fast enough for you to have to sort of feel the groups rather than the individual notes, well, 5 is just triangle, circle, or circle, triangle. And so when I'm conducting, this is a bit of an insight, If it's a bit of sort of jaunty, so it's it's a bit of Rutter, the donkey carol. Donkey riding over the bumpy road, carry Mary all in her heavy load. Triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle. It just allows you a quick little bit of just a doodle, and then you can see exactly where the stress is for. Works the same with 7/8 as well, doesn't it? Triangle, circle, circle, triangle, circle, circle. There you go. Just one of the little bits of joyous knowledge that I'm delighted to share with you. Great. So, Mark, if you could make sure that Muriel gets her PDF, please. She's put her email address in the comments. If you could send that through, that'd be great. Thank you. Oh, it's arrived. That was quick. Well done, Mark. Angela says, wish I'd known... Well, now you do. Now you do. That's the great thing about life. Everything that you learn, you know, if you didn't know it before, well, you do now. Brilliant. Yeah, great. Jane is saying, thank you for reminding me how to access John Rutter's introductions to the pieces. Thank you, Mark, for doing that. Yeah, and mark them with his advice. Yeah, do. And I hope you've all seen the advice for Look at the World. That was the one the Sopranos really liked yesterday, because he asks us all to channel our inner Julie Andrews at that point, altos. And he does specify he means Julie Andrews on the mountaintop. Okay, that sort of sound. But I don't know. I think there's definitely something to be said for a bit of spoonful of sugar. You know, that's for a spoonful of sugar. So when we get to that bit, you can decide which Julie Andrews you want to be. Practically perfect in every way, as I said to the Sopranos yesterday. But how is everybody? Fabulous. Hello, Liz from Aberdeenshire. Gillian was taught Rimsky-Korsakov. That's good as well. Rimsky-Korsakov. Rimsky-Korsakov. Yeah, that works as well. I like that. Doesn't work the other way round, though. Korsakov, Rimsky. Korsakov, Rimsky. So this gives you the other way round. But hey, I'll take it. I like that. Thank you very much. Rock Choir Heathrow says, the hills are alive. They are indeed. With the sound of Rutter. The hills are alive with the sound of... Hello, Rochelle from San Francisco. Giselle Minou the cat is here too. Oh, a very, very pampered pussycat sitting in for the Rutter pieces. I've no idea where Gilbert is. Are you in here? No. I think he's found a cool, quiet place to just flop. I was saying earlier on that Gilbert, our cat, is a great big tomcat, and he's very, very fluffy. He's a big fluffy boy, and so this morning he came in, and the first thing he did, he sort of just went onto his side on the kitchen floor and just lay there like a great big black and white puddle. And everyone who just walked past him, they just went to stroke him, and he just went, you know, I mean, imagine being in this kind of heat and wearing a head-to-toe fur coat. So yeah, bless him, he's not desperately happy. Oh, fabulous. So Carol's 3 Jack Russells and the cat are sitting in. It's cooler than outside. Oh, great. Apparently Julie says Minu the cat enjoys Rutter far more than Messiah. That's really interesting. When I was a teenager, I had a beautiful black cat. Her name was Uschi. German for Ursula. Gorgeous, gorgeous cat. She was really lovely and really musical. And she used to, when I used to sit and play the piano, she would climb up and drape herself like a stole. So front legs, sort of front paws here, back paws here, tail down my shoulder, and head resting on this shoulder. And as I played, she'd purr, and occasionally chirrup along. She had one of those purrs as well. But whenever I played Bach, bear in mind I wasn't a very good pianist, so she might have been commenting on it, but whenever I played Bach, she would get off the shoulders and jump onto the piano and then roll around, sort of rubbing against the piano. For some reason, she really loved polyphony. Very musical cat. Mary's cat has just gone outside. Not sure if it's Rutter or me singing that's the problem. Well, that's cats for you, though. Kate said maybe Gilbert is with Sullivan. Well, no, we don't have a Sullivan. I was when we got Gilbert, and I think I've told this story before, but I was conducting Gilbert and Sullivan's wonderful Iolanthe. I was the musical director of the Gilbert and Sullivan Society here in Bristol at the time, and we thought that Gilbert was a girl, and so my daughter Katie, who's in the show, wanted to call the cat Iolanthe, and I really loved the idea of that. If you know the show, you have the Iolanthe, Iolanthe, it's that lovely call, and I loved the idea of going to the back door and calling Iolanthe for the cat. Anyway, so we adopted what we thought was Iolanthe and discovered, she certainly was no Iolanthe. And unfortunately, all of the male names in that show are all a bit naff. We didn't want to name her Strephon or Talola. Talola was close, but in the end, it had to be Gilbert. But Gilbert hangs around with another cat on the estate who is called Batman. And so there was an incredibly intense big black tomcat who walks around the estate, and he's definitely called Batman because his owners live a few doors down, and we hear him shouting Batman, Batman. And Gilbert and Batman are great friends, but Batman is definitely the clever one, so it's Batman and Gilbert. And sometimes Batman comes and sits in the garden, and Gilbert toddles out, and they go off and have adventures together, and I just have this lovely idea of Gilbert and Batman. Batman and Gilbert. So anyway, enough chatter about my cat. How is everybody doing? Hello, Christine. It's getting hotter and hotter in West Sussex. It is here in Bristol as well, showing no signs of cooling down. I'm sat here with the fan on and still sweltering. So we've got a hot night ahead. It's going to be tough for the next few days, and then Friday, apparently the weather's going to break. There may well be thunderstorms during our broadcast. I just hope there's no power cuts. Well, we'll see what we can do. Not much we can do, is it? Oh dear. Hello, Carolyn. And G. Cole back in from Ohio. Muggy too here. Yeah, very muggy everywhere, I think. And Christine, our two cats disappeared this morning. I haven't seen them since. They'll be holed up somewhere cool, I should hope. Hello, Jean from sunny Clevedon. Nora's saying her dad was Gilbert. Gilbert Boswell. That's a great name. See, all these old names are coming back. I don't think it'll be too long before we start to see some really good old-fashioned names. I mean, my son is Bob, and he's friends with Alf, and there's a Wilf at his school as well. So the names are all coming back. Rosalind loves the idea of a cat called Batman. Absolutely. Gilbert and Batman, exactly. As I said, Mark, it's definitely Batman and Gilbert. Definitely. Batman is the lead, and our Gilbert is very much the sidekick. Anyway. Hello, Mariana from the Outer Banks of North Carolina. How wonderful. Jean is having a cool house hot day in Sutton. Rosalind, hello from a hot Carshalton beaches. My goodness, great to see you. Ruth from sunny Clapham, and Gillian from Hampton Wick. Great stuff. Well, we'll be starting in just a moment, altos. I know some of you have been waiting a while. Well, we do try and send the link out as soon as I'm ready, but I won't pop up until a few minutes before. There's only so much cat chatter that I think the internet can take. But I hope you had a nice morning this morning. And we've got some lovely pieces to sing this afternoon. I always prefer to do the bulk of the work in the morning, and then you're left with, we've only got 3 pieces to sing. 1 fairly substantial one and 2 short ones. And then we can sing through everything and feel we've really achieved a lot. 7 pieces in one day is a big sing. So well done. Hello, Hill. Ooh, are from Wiltshire, she says. Ooh, are indeed. Yes, now we've been told we're not allowed to join the Facebook group, so that's why we're not on it. Anyway. Hello, everybody. It's 3:30, and so it is time for part 2 of our alto rehearsal. This week we are learning the wonderful music of the British composer John Rutter, and in our morning session today we learn 4 of the 7 pieces. Well, in this session we're going to learn the remaining 3 pieces, and then we're going to sing through everything in order. So if I could ask you to please make sure you've got a drink of water handy so you can stay well hydrated. As we're recording today, it is very hot, but no matter what the weather is like where you are, make sure you drink plenty of water throughout our afternoon session. We've done a lot of singing all together today, so I want to make sure that we keep our voices nice and healthy. So our first piece of the afternoon is Look at the World, and if I could ask you to turn to that in our special scores, and just to say, whilst you're doing that, we're so grateful not only to John but also to Oxford University Press, who published John's music. They've been immensely supportive and of course produced this wonderful edition for us to buy and to use, and these are of course available. You can keep hold of these and use them forever, which is wonderful. Now this gorgeous piece, Look at the World, is one of the newer pieces, if you like, in the pack. Some of the pieces we sang this morning date from the 70s and 80s. This one is from the mid-90s, and if you've seen John's wonderful introduction to this, you'll have heard the story behind it and how he was contacted by the great David Dimbleby and asked to write a piece of music for the anniversary for the Council of the Protection Rural England. And what I loved in particular is, having performed a lot of John's music over the years, I've always been interested in the differences between when he sets his own words and when he sets other people's words. And he actually says something along the lines of, it's always a question of last resort, that if he has to write the words, then he will, but he'd rather use somebody else's. Well, I think these are really, really beautifully written words. And the tune that goes with this is extremely catchy. And one of the particularly nice things about this is that the refrain that comes back, the praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation, once you've learned it, although it does come back in different keys, the shape of it is the same each time, so you can really build in confidence as you sing through it. Let's have a look at the opening of this one. And again, if you've seen John's introduction, his take on this is it needs to be a combination of 2 singing styles, really. When we sing the verse, which at the beginning is sung only by the sopranos, but you do get to sing it later on. But this, look at the world, everything all around us, it needs to be really sort of bright and live, a little bit preppy. Look at the world and marvel every day. And he says he wants you to channel your inner Julie Andrews as you sing, Julie Andrews on the mountaintop. But when we sing the refrain, the praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation, it needs to be more of a lovely smooth legato hymn sort of feel. Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. All right, and in fact that's where we open our rehearsal this afternoon, is on page 33 at figure A. Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see. This is a really, really nice bit of alto writing. And again, although the sopranos get the tune, this is a very, very singable melody in itself, the part that you've got to sing. So your line from letter A is 1, 2. Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see all the gifts we share and every blessing. All things come of thee. All right, so let's have a look at that in bits, and we'll identify some places where you can snatch a breath. Okay, that's always useful, isn't it? So let's have a look at the first line, starting at letter A. Praise to thee. If you can roll your R's, please, that would be wonderful. So after me, 1, 2. Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. With me, and praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. And just as you sing that, just make the 4 minims, the all creation. Can you give each of those the appropriate weight? Don't accent them, but lean into them slightly. Okay, it's to have a string of long notes at this point. It's the first time we've done it. So let's sing praise to thee and lean into those last 4 notes a little bit. 1, 2. Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Lovely. And then it is, give us thankful hearts that we may see. And here, just that last C, I'll ask you to just lift slightly. Okay, just don't sing that last crotchet, that last beat there, quite as loudly as the note before. So, C. Okay, so give us thankful hearts, please. 1, 2. Give us thankful hearts that we may see. And then we carry straight on. So you need to grab a breath as quickly as you can, although if we were singing this face to face, I might ask you to sing all the way through and stagger the breathing there. Alright, but if you need to grab a breath, you can. At 33, we then sing all the gifts we share with a deep breath. We sing, all the gifts we share and every blessing. So sing with me, 1, 2. All the gifts we share and every blessing. Lovely. And what that's done is set us up for that nice suspension here, where we sing, all things come of thee. And that note there that we get is that nice 9/8 suspension that we heard so much of in the first half this morning. So really lean into all things come of thee. Okay, so sing with me, all things. 1, 2. All things come of thee. Splendid. Can we have calm of thee? So make a nice tall mouth on calm and all the way through to the end of thee. Okay, let's sing that chorus together, please. Praise to thee, starting at 1, 2. Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see all the gifts we share and every blessing. All things come of thee. Excellent. Now, over the page, you get the tune, or at least some of it. So it's written children or sopranos and altos, and we don't have a children's choir singing with us this time. So let us, I'm just wearing these, I don't need to wear these right now. So let's sing, please, from the top of 35, Look at the Earth. And as I say, channel your inner Julie Andrews, keep it nice and sort of poppy slightly. So after 1, it is 1. Look at the earth, bringing forth fruit and flower. Look at the sky, the sunshine and the rain. Okay, so when you sing up, look at the sky, sky, nice and tall, and then the sunshine and the rain, smiling all the way through. All right, so let's sing at B, please, after 1, 2, 1. Look at the earth, bringing forth fruit and flower. Look at the sky, the sunshine and the rain. And then you let the tenors and basses sing. They sing, look at the hills, look at the trees and mountains. Okay, then you take over again and we sing 1. Valley and flowing river, field and plain. Sing with me, valley and flowing river, and 1. Valley and flowing river, field and plain. Really, very, very nice indeed. Those last 3 notes, as before, lean into them. Field and plain. Good. Also, make sure that you're happy where you're coming off and grabbing a breath, because you're in after just a single crotchet beat. So it's field and plain. Praise. Okay, and then it's the same as before. So let's sing into that. Let's sing Valley and Flowing River, the last 2 beats of bar 55, and then sing into the chorus. And it's the same as we did before. Okay, so Valley after 1 and 1. Valley and flowing river, field and plain, praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see all the gifts we and every blessing, all things come of thee. Fabulous. And then we're in B major. Now here, the tenors and basses will sing. Okay, so you don't need to sing this page. We come in then on page 39 at letter E. And it's the same shape as we sang before, although the notes are obviously at a different pitch. So we sing, praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see all the gifts we shed and every blessing, all things come of thee. And as John says, when you sing pieces in different keys, and the fact that John changes keys throughout his piece, it allows you to examine the harmony from all sorts of different angles, and to sing that in a slightly lower pitch. It makes it, I don't know, slightly darker and slightly more intense, isn't it? It's very, very pretty. So let's sing into that, altos, just so we're happy with it. What I'll do is I'll sing the tenor and bass line from bar 85. Everything grows, everything has a season, till it is gathered to the Father's fold, and then we'll practice coming in on that note at letter E. So I'll sing from bar 85. So we sing, everything grows, everything has a season, till it is gathered to the Father's fold. Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see all the gifts we share and every blessing, all things come of thee. Excellent. And then we are at the top of page 40 at F, and we are now in D major. So we've gone from C major at the start to D major, full tone up from where we started. And you'll find this tune is particularly bright when you want to write something celebratory. Throughout the centuries, composers have used D major, and so John taking the cue from the greats here. So we sing all together at F after 1 and 1. Every good gift, all that we need and cherish, comes from the Lord in token of his love. Okay, now I appreciate for some of you that top E, I mean, it's the highest note that we've had to sing today, paired with a couple of E's earlier on, but it is forte, and John gives us a nice run up to it. Comes from the Lord. Okay, he's not asking us to just pluck it out of the air, so enjoy the run up to that, and just make sure when you're coming down afterwards you're not swooping. Let's sing that together one more time from F. Every good gift, with that big beaming smile. And 1. Every good gift, all that we need and cherish, comes from the Lord in token of his love. Then the tenors and basses sing, stewards of all his bounty. And then you sing, his is the earth and his the heaven above. Okay, so let's just look at that. Heavens above. Okay, so from bar 1, 2, 3, his is the earth, and 1. His is the earth and his the heavens above. Okay, same shape as we've sung before, just in that slightly brighter key. And do note that it is loud, okay? Mezzo forte and getting louder because we're heading for this final sing through of the refrain. Letter G. Okay, we'll be very familiar with these particular shapes, but now it's in a brighter key. So sing praise to thee with me from letter G, please, altos. 1, 2. Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see all the gifts we share and every blessing. All things come of thee. Then we sing, all things come of thee. Okay, so let's just look at that very last 3 bars, the all things come of thee, because that's the bit that's unexpected. Having been singing this, all things come of thee, we've been singing that da-da-dum for a while, and as John says in his introduction, just because it's the end, he's decided to change it. All things. And so that just changes your last couple of notes. So we sing bar 1, 4, 3. We sing all things come of thee. Okay, so just be careful at the end. It's come of thee, not come of thee, which we've sung before. Let's just sing through, shall we? From page 41, from letter G. Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Let's sing that through one more time. We'll go all the way to the end, and then we'll sing the entire piece from the beginning. Okay, so praise to thee. There's your note at letter G. Okay, after 2, 1, 2. Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see all the gifts we share and every blessing. All things come of thee. All things come of thee. Great stuff. Okay, let's sing it all the way through with the wonderful altos of the Fieri Consort. I do need my headphones for this one. And so just remember the contrast between the verses, which are vibrant and bubbling. Think babbling brooks. Look at the world, everything all around us. Yeah. I need you to be Disney princesses, I think, for this one, altos. You know, when a Disney princess will be in the forest singing, and she just puts her hand out, and a happy little bluebird will land on her hand. And I want you to have that in mind as you sing this one. But then when we get to praise to thee, O Lord, each time that comes back, a real contrast. Okay, you then become the chorus singing about the entire scene. Praise to thee, O Lord, for all almost like the string section of the orchestra comes in at that point. All right, let's have some fun with this one. I need to wake my computer up. Gosh, it's all very hot in here. The computer is distinctly warm. Okay, here we go. Look at the world. And soprano sing. Look at the world, everything all around us. Look at the world and marvel every day. Look at the world, so many joys and wonders, so many miracles along our way. Ready? And
praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see. All the gifts we share and every blessing, all things come of thee.
Deep breath and
Look at the earth, bringing forth fruit and flower. Look at the sky, the sunshine and the rain.
look at the hills, look at the trees and mountains,
Valley and flowing river, field and plain. Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see all the gifts we share and every blessing, all things come of thee.
now tenors and basses. Think of the spring, think of the warmth of summer, bringing the harvest before the winter's cold. Everything grows, everything has a season, till it is gathered to the Father's fold. Ready?
Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see all the gifts we share and every blessing, all things come of thee.
Take a deep breath and let's sing together. Every good gift, all that we need and cherish, comes from the Lord in token of His love. We are His hands, stewards of all His bounty.
His is the earth and His the heavens above. Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see all the gifts we share and every blessing, all things come of thee. All things come of thee.
There you are. Well done, artists. Thank you so much. I'm not sure, again, whether that was Nancy or Helen, but wonderful, wonderful singing from our Fieri alto there. And thank you again, Anna, for the lovely playing. If you didn't know that piece, I hope you enjoyed that one. That was a relatively new one to me in this project. I'd heard it, but I'd never sung it through. You will find that tune gets well and truly stuck in your head, ladies. Yeah, enjoy. Wonderful stuff. So let's move on. Do have a drink of water, please, everybody. Fabulous. And what we'll do now is we'll have a look at the Choral Amen in E. And this one is one of 3 amens that John wrote when he was Director of Music at Clare College. And those of you that have been associated with church choirs, particularly Anglican choirs, will know that there are many opportunities within a service to sing an amen. And it's always nice where you can to sing it rather than to say it. Because, of course, the word amen, as John says, is a lovely word to set and a lovely word to sing, because it's those two wonderful sounds, ah and eh. And those are the most open sounds and the most pleasing sounds I think the voice can make. So here we have a first and second alto part. There isn't much to choose between them. In fact, if anything, the alto 2 part sings one note higher than the alto 1 part. So I'll leave it up to you which part you want to sing. Of course, one of the lovely things about this self-isolation choir that we run here is that if you want to sing both, well, you can, and you can take it back and sing each part yourself. Let's start with alto 1. And so if you could all turn to that page, please. It's page 44 in our special scores. And if you notice, alto 1 has an entire bar of rest. So what you hear is the first soprano and the first tenor, and they sing ah. The first soprano then moves to an F sharp, and that is your first note, alto 1. And so your line is down the scale and up to the E. And so if we sing that line together, and whether you're alto 1 or 2, let's sing this together. Notice, please, the dynamic. It's very, very quiet and very, very smooth, and it gets louder through to the men. So if we could sing this all together after 4, 2, 3, 4. Amen. Okay, so men is 4 beats. The long note at the bottom of the R is 2. So Amen. Great. And if you could put a very, very short little n just on the end of that note, that would be great. Let's just do that one more time, please. So from the start of bar 2, after 4, 2, 3, 4. Amen. Great. Notice I am smiling. It's not just about presenting a happy appearance. It's also about keeping everything in tune. When you're going down the scale, it really helps to smile with these muscles here. You then have a bar and a half with nothing to do. But what you will be doing is taking a nice deep breath and following again the first soprano line. Okay? Because the first soprano line will finish this page by going up to a C sharp. If you look at the last note on the soprano 1 part on page 44, you see that note going across the bar line. That is your first note over the page altos. And so we sing after 4, 2, 3, 4. Amen. Amen. Excuse me, I'm going to have a little sip of my drink. Bit of a frog in the throat there. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, off. Okay, now before we have a go at singing that, I'd just like to invite you to have a look at the markings here, because there's actually quite a lot to do in 4 bars. Not only have you got to sing from towards the upper register to down to the bottom, so from a C sharp down a full octave effectively, you've got to go from quiet, which is P for piano, and crescendo through to forte dolce, which is a loud but sweet sound. Okay, so John is not asking for a great big belting sound. He wants it to be a really sweet but loud sound at our men there in bar 7, 8, 9. So let's sing from the beginning of bar 6. Let's have everything mezzo forte for now. Don't worry about singing it quietly or loudly. Let's get the notes right, but then we'll shape it. Okay, after 4, 2, 3, 4. Amen. Amen. Lovely. Now let's sing that and get louder as we go. So start not too loud at all. Start quietly, actually. 2, 3, 4. Amen. Amen. Okay, so we're on that B and we're singing loudly but sweetly. We then rise up. In the next bar we have a rest and we sing 1. Okay, so let's break that up into little chunks. Let's start in bar 7, 8, 9, 10, where we just come down from the C sharp to the G sharp. So sing with me after 1, 3, 4, 1. Amen. Okay, so the men there is 5 beats, and we're to be getting quieter through it. So sing that with me one more time. 3, 4, 1. Amen. And then we sing down to the E, and we sing Amen. Okay, so da 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 da. Okay, so the first white note there, the minim, is 2 beats. Then the note in the middle is 4 beats because it's 2 beats tied together. And then the last one is 2 beats as well. So from the second note of bar 12, please, altos. After 1, 3, 4, 1. Amen. Lovely. And notice we're getting quieter throughout that. And then the last 3 bars, we're in after 2, 1, 2. Amen. And again, getting quieter and quieter and quieter still. John's performance direction for this piece is to imagine it is like a time lapse of an entire day, with the sun rising and getting to the hottest part of the day, midday, at somewhere around bar 8 or 9, and then the sun setting again. And so by the time we get to the end, it is literally, as we come off, the sun disappears and it's night again. Let's sing that all the way through alto 1, and then we'll learn alto 2. Okay, so let's sing that together after 4. So we're going to come in at the start of bar 2. Okay, so actually I'll play from the start of bar 1. So it goes R2 and Amen. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Amen. So that is your alto 1 part. Let's have a look at alto 2, please. All right. So let us please begin in bar 1. Now here you need to, altos, you need to follow the sopranos and tenor at this point. If you look at the tenor 1 line, he sings Amen, and you start your line 2 beats into his line. So he sings and you sing Amen. Okay, let's just look at that line on its own, in isolation as it were, and then we'll put that in context with the tenor. So it's in after 2, 1, 2. Amen. All right, one more time for luck. After 2, 1, 2. Amen. Lovely. And then it carries on. Amen. So let's look at that little section, the second Amen. All right, let's sing that at the right tempo. So in after 2, 1, 2. Amen. And you will have been listening and singing along with the alto 1, so you'll know that we're crescendoing through this, and we're aiming for 2 bars ahead, bar 9, when we should be forte. So we've just sung Amen. We then sing Amen, Amen. And this is really very, very loud indeed, but still sweet. Okay, so don't make it too heavy. Don't give it a great big belting vibrato. Just a little bit would be absolutely fine. So let's sing, please. Let's go from the beginning to there, altos, okay? I think that's actually the first point that you have a rest. So Hard-working alto 2. So in after 2 from the start. Ready? 1, 2. Amen. 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 Okay, so that is the loudest part of the piece. Then we have to grab a D sharp and come down the scale. So here, you need to do a bit of practice with our performance track. So you need to know where the note is. You don't really get much help from anybody else, alto 2. So you need to be able to go from there to that interval. Okay, so when we're practicing, please use the recording and just practice going from an A to a D sharp. Remember, that is the interval known as a tritone. Previously known in past years as Diabolus in Musica. It was an interval that was banned during the Renaissance. Thankfully, not these days. So if we sing Amen, we sing Amen, Amen. I'm going to drop down an octave because a D sharp out of nowhere is a bit high even for me. So I'll sing it at my octave, but I need you up there, please, altos 2. After 1, deep breath, 3, 4, 1. Amen. Amen. Okay, that's a tricky line. The end of it's not so bad, but coming in on that D sharp, that will take a bit of practice. So let's sing that together one more time, please. Alto 1 and 2, join in, please, even if you're alto 1. So from the second beat of bar 11. After 1, 3, 4, 1. Amen. Amen. And then 1, 2. Amen. All right, let's sing all the way through the alto 2 part, and then we'll sing it with the Fieri singers. Okay, so remember the tenor starts. The tenor sings ah, and then you sing your ah. So it's ah, just like that. All right, I'm going to have a sip of my drink. And let us sing together. All right, nice deep breath. 2, 3, 4. Amen. 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 1, 2. Amen. Fabulous. That D sharp is right over my break, so apologies for that. Let us sing it now with the altos of the Fieri consort, please. And we will sing it through with just the Fieri singers, and then we'll sing it through with everybody. And we're not sharing the full tracks yet. That's a treat for Friday. But this one, we are going to ask you to sing along with the full mixed version with all 8 singers, because this one is quite tricky to kind of fit together. All right. And one more thing, at the end of the rehearsal track, there's a little bit of a glitch with the alto just on the last amen. So I'm going to play and sing over that, just so it's really clear what our notes are at that point. All right. So let's sing together. Right. Choral Amen. So your first note is here. Remember, alto 2 starts. Here we go. And 1, 2.
Amen.
Alto 1. 1, 2. As I say, there's a little weird glitch at the end there, so use my rehearsal track to practice that one. All right, so let's try that in context, and I do concede you're going to need to practice this one. It's always nice to have a real challenge thrown in a summer school week, isn't it? So let's sing this one together. Remember, the tenor starts. In fact, what I'll do is I'll conduct you. I'll have first altos here, second altos here. Okay, so alto 1 is here, alto 2 is this hand. Let's give it a go. So there's your note. Tenors, take it away, please. In fact, I'm just going to turn it down as this is quite a loud mix. Right, here are the tenors to take us away. And... There we are. So we are going to be sharing that full version with you so you can practice along. We'll have a look at that glitch, see if we can edit that one out and put up an updated version. But enjoy that one, dear altos. It's such a beautiful piece. Now let's move on to the last piece of the day, and a perfect way to bring our learning session to an end. We will sing through everything, and I do hope you've got some voice left for about 15 minutes time where we sing through from the beginning. But this one, well, I've sung this one I don't know how many times in services. I've sung it at weddings, I've sung it at funerals, I've sung it at christenings. I conducted it when I was the director of music many times. It is really the quintessential blessing these days for a church choir or a cathedral choir. Extremely moving, I found, to hear about the reason why John wrote this. It was in memoriam of his music teacher, and we all have teachers that mean a lot to us, and those of us who are musicians, you can usually point to at least one really good music teacher along the years who has given you some important advice. And the advice that John's composing teacher gave him was the same advice my teacher gave me, which was to write the music that's in your heart. And I've always tended to write very melodic music with a nice tune, because I've been so influenced by John Rutter's music. So as I said to the sopranos yesterday, this is a real dream project for me, working on this lovely music, and I'm so grateful to John for letting us do this. I hope you've been enjoying his music along the way, and let's do a really good job of his lovely Lord Bless You and Keep You. So it's in this wonderful key, G flat major, again, as John says very helpfully. Just think of G flat major as being just like G major, just with more flats. Thanks, John. 6 flats. A lovely key, though. It's really nice to sing in. And you don't sing the opening page. Again, the sopranos introduce the melody, but we do get to sing some of it over the page. So can I invite you all to turn to page 49 in our special scores? This is bar 10, it's the very last note of it. And we sing Dolce Sempre, always sweetly. We sing 2, 3. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you. Okay, let's sing to there. So if you don't know the song, let's learn it in bits. The Lord bless you and keep you. Sing for me. The Lord bless you and keep you. Now Now, in my experience, that keep you can go very, very flat unless you are smiling all the way through and thinking about making sure that note in particular is nice and in tune. So let's sing that together. Lord bless you and keep you. 2, 3, 4. The Lord bless you and keep you. Lovely. And then we sing on that same note. The Lord make his face to shine upon you. Sing with me. 2, 3, 4. The Lord make his face to shine upon you. And notice on the word shine, I'm putting in a little bit of extra sh. It's the same whenever we sing the word star and shine. We want a little bit more of the sh and the st. Most of the time a conductor will tell you less s, less sh. But actually in this case we need a little bit more because it makes it shine, doesn't it? It makes it scintillate. And if you open your mouth nice and tall and shine, you'll give that note a little bit more luster. Okay, so we've sung to shine upon you. We then sing to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Okay, really, really nice line. Not too high at all. Really within that the Goldilocks zone. Not too high, not too low. Just right, isn't it, for altos? So let's sing. If I sing that for you, then from the Lord bless you and keep you at 10 down to bar 18, and then we'll sing it all together. Okay. If you know it, sing with me from the last note of 10. 2, 3, 4. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you, to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yeah, really beautiful line. So just that last, to shine upon you and be gracious, which is bar 14, the last note of bar 14. Let's just sing that with me, please. 2, 3, 4. To shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Really reminds me of a bit of French writing. Sounds like it would come straight from the Cantique de Jean Racine by Fauré, couldn't it? All right, so just for luck, let's all sing that together from bar 11. Okay, lovely bit of harmony writing, and not too loud. We're going to grow into the middle and then back down again. From last note of 10, 2, 3, 4. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you, to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Lovely. We then need to take a deep breath and we sing with the sopranos. We start together and then we diverge. It's a lovely moment. We sing, the Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon you. Now you will need to stagger the breathing there. If you can't sing it through in one breath, breathe in a place that isn't obvious. So try not to breathe after light or after countenance if you are going to snatch a breath. If anything, take out a note and come back in. See if you can keep the integrity of that line. Let's sing that all together. Let's see if we can do it in one breath. The Lord lift up the light. Ready? 2, 3, 4. The Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon you. Well done. Then the tenors and basses sing of his countenance upon you. Then the sopranos sing and give you peace. Then the tenors and basses sing and give you peace. Then we sing together and give you peace and give you peace. Really very, very pretty line, very simple. Let's just sing that line at 31. And give you peace. It's a little bit tricky to pitch those notes because it's a fourth and then a fifth and then an octave and then a semitone. Easy to play on the keyboard, quite hard to sing. So let's sing and give you peace together, ready, and 1. And give you peace, and again, and 1. And give you peace. Excellent. What I'll ask you to do with the s on the end of peace is to make it quite a short one and make sure it comes after the bar line as marked, so we get and give you peace. Just a little one. Grab a breath and then we sing and give you peace. And that last S on the piece there should be almost inaudible, because the tenors and basses are starting the Amen, and we just need to put that S in just so you finish the word, but we don't really want to hear it against the texture. Let's sing from bar 31 to bar 35, altos. Ready? Starting on that note, take a deep breath, and before we sing it, before we sing it, notice it's quiet. At this point, we're and give you peace, and give you peace. Very, very gentle. Okay, take a nice deep breath after 1, and 1, and give you peace, and give you peace. Lovely. Okay, so the tenors and basses, they start this run. Amen. Your note is there, okay? And so your line at 37, mezzo forte, notice it's not quiet here. We sing 3, 4. Amen, amen. Okay, so let's sing those 2 amens. 2, 3, 4. Amen, amen. Okay, so just notice that the first men goes across the bar line. You then got a dotted note, amen, and you're moving against all the other parts. What creates this lovely sort of counterpoint and being part of a machine. And you're crescendoing up to your A flat on men. Okay, we then sing up to a D flat and down again, so we sing amen, amen. So let's sing that amen. This is bar 39 on the 3rd beat. After 2, 1, 2. Amen, amen. And at this point we're starting to get quieter. And then in bar 41 we sing after 1, 1. Amen, okay, so let's have a look at that. The first one in bar 41 is just down and back up again. So sing me the Amen in bar 41 and 1. Amen. Lovely. As soon as we've sung that, we need to sing again. And so the next Amen is Amen. Sing for me and 1. And that goes across the bar line, and the last Amen is Amen with me, and 1. Amen. Splendid. Can we sing this the last page together, please, altos? So from bar 37 to the end, and notice you don't have any rests, so you can breathe after an amen, but it should sound just so lovely and smooth and flowing. Don't want to hear any particularly loud gasps of air. Also notice the contrast in dynamics on just one page. Starting mezzo forte, 2 bars later we're forte, plenty of power, then we come down again to mezzo forte, down to mezzo piano, down to piano, and finally finishing pianissimo on the last note. So it's a lot to do in 9 bars. All right, straight in mezzo forte at bar 52, 2, 3, 4. Amen, amen. there we have it. So what I'd like to do, altos, is to sing it all the way through with the wonderful Fieri altos. We'll then gather ourselves and we'll go right back to the beginning and we'll sing all 7 pieces with the Fieri alto. So you will have, after this rehearsal, you can just jump in sort of half an hour before the end of the Alto 2 rehearsal, and you've got all of them from the beginning and you can sing them through. All right, I'm going to have a quick sip of drink and I would advise you to do those. And remember, the sopranos sing at the beginning, so don't be surprised when you don't hear any alto. Here we go. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you, and be gracious, unto you. Deep breath. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you, and be gracious, unto you. 2, 3, 4. The Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon you. The Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon you. Then sopranos. And give you peace. Then tenors and basses. And give you peace. Deep breath. And give you peace. And give you peace. 2, 3, 4. Very quiet there. Deep breath, ready, and. Amen. 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 Well done, altos. Great job. Okay, splendid stuff. So that is all 7 pieces taught and learnt in the space of 2.5 hours. That just gives us enough time to rewind and sing all the way through from the beginning. Now, I wouldn't blame you if your voice is feeling a little on the tired side, so do please take it easy. Don't expect us to be able to sing everything at the same gusto as you sang it this morning, but when you come back and you sing these pieces again, either later in the week or as we go forwards, because of course these will be saved for you to come back anytime you like. Maybe jump to this point and sing through all 7 and see how each one sort of complements the other. We'll go back and we'll sing All Things Bright and Beautiful. I would ask you, please, make sure that you are having plenty of water. It is rather hot as we record this. Here we go. Right, so from the beginning, All Things Bright and Beautiful. I am going to turn the volume up slightly on the piano track. Do remember, of course, we are posting all of these to the Self-Isolation Choir Summer School channel, so you can sing along with the Fieri Alto. We're also, I hope I'm allowed to say this, Mark, we're also sharing the tracks with everybody except your part. So you can sing with the sopranos, tenors and basses, but without the alto, so you can practice your line in amongst everybody else. How exciting. So, are we ready? Let's sing All Things Bright and Beautiful. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. Ready?
Each little flower that opens, each little bird that sings, He made their glowing colours, He made their tiny wings. The Lord God made them all.
The purple-headed mountain, the river running by, the sunset and the morning that brightens up the sky.
The cold wind in the winter, the pleasant summer sun, the ripe fruits in the garden, He made them every one. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. He gave us eyes to see them, and lips that we might tell how great is God Almighty, who has made all things well. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all.
Well done, altos. How was that? Oh, it's great. Such a beautiful piece. I have to say, where I'm working here, just on the other side of the window, there is a small park and a road. And as I started it, not kidding, a butterfly flew up against the window. That was a lovely little moment. Okay, so when you're singing that one through, just remember it was originally written for children's voices. I loved what John said in his introduction to this one, that if you like his music, then you'll love this one. If you're not a fan of his music, then it's everything about Rutter's style that you're not going to like. I hope if there's anybody who was on the fence before today about John's style, that I hope you're all in agreement. It's absolutely gorgeous. You just have to sing with a real sense of innocence and purity with this one. I've said many times, I first encountered John's music when I was in the Havering Youth Choir. No, Havering Young Singers. It was the feeder choir for the youth choir. And this one and For the Beauty of the Earth were our absolute favourites. Our conductor, she got really fed up with us saying, can we do those two Rutter pieces again? She was trying to teach us Britten and Gershwin and so on, and we just wanted to sing John's pieces. So just have that boundless enthusiasm and love of life when you sing these two in particular. So let's move on and sing For the Beauty of the Earth. And same again with this one, written around the same time, I think, with the same sort of feeling in mind, looking at joy and beauty and love. So as you sing, that beautiful smile, as we rise up with that ascending line, build with love and joy for each other. All right, let's sing together For the Beauty of the Earth. And soprano sing. For the beauty of the earth, for the beauty of the skies, for the love which from above over and around us lies, over and around us lies. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our joyful hymn of praise. So we take a nice deep breath and we sing together. For the beauty of each hour,
of the day and of the night, hill and vale and tree and flower, sun and moon and stars of light,
sun and moon and stars of light.
Lord of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of praise.
So I'll sing the tenor and bass. For the joy of human love, brother, sister, parent, child,
Brother, sister,
friends
parent,
on
child,
earth and friends above,
and friends above,
for all gentle thoughts and mild, for all gentle thoughts and mild. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our joyful hymn of praise. Deep breath. For each perfect gift of thine, to a race so freely given, graces human and divine, flowers of earth and buds of heaven, flowers of earth and buds of heaven, Lord of all, to thee we raise this our joyful hymn of praise. Sopranos and one.
our hymn of praise.
Stay absolutely still. Wonderful. Oh, it's a reason why that one's my favourite. So beautiful, beautifully written. Thank you again, John, for such wonderful work. So when you sing that one, remember the triangle, triangle, circle at the end. This triangle, triangle, circle, our joyful hymn. Okay, that might prove useful. Remember when we sing that last verse, when you're singing with the tenors and basses, it really just let yourself go at that point. You know, I know it's high for some of you, but you know, just be filled with the joy of the music. It's so beautifully written. Fab. Okay, so let's move on. Let's have a look at a Clare Benediction next. And this one, as I said earlier, this is a total contrast to the first two, which are sort of much more poppy and slightly lighter. This one, just have in mind that the love for the institutions that means so much for us. This is written for John's college and for his choir, and you can hear the reverence in this. You know, it doesn't have the same poppy feel. It doesn't have the same sort of syncopated rhythms as the first two, and so this would be. I mean, I've sung this piece in cathedral choirs before, so have a slightly more, I think, I don't want to say a serious tone, just a love and respect for the institutions that we love and that we look forward to singing with again. All right, so let's sing this one together. I'm just double checking. Good. Okay, a Clare Benediction altos. Here we go. Deep breath and
May the Lord show his mercy upon you.
He guard you and uphold you. May His Spirit be ever by your side.
When you sleep, may His angels watch over you.
Now getting louder.
When you wake, may He fill you with His grace.
Tenors and sopranos. May you love Him and serve Him all your days.
Then in heaven may you see His face.
Deep breath. May the Lord show His mercy upon you.
May the light of His presence be your guide. May He guard you and uphold you. May His Spirit be ever
slightly.
by your side.
When you sleep,
may you love Him and serve Him all your days.
then in.
Then in heaven
May you see.
may you see His face. May you see His face.
Thank you so much, everybody. I think from a harmony point of view, and I know we have that 8-part choral Amen, which is just sublime, but I think just for the purity of the alto line and just there's so many wonderful moments that you singing that in a harmony can really enjoy. It doesn't go too high. You've got opportunities to really sing through that section from C on page 24 with the R and all those long notes. So really do listen to this wonderful Fieri singer. As I say, I'm not sure whether it's Nancy or Helen, but that wonderful moment. You know, if you're in any way interested about developing as a singer, match her tone. You know, see if you, as you sing along, see if you can try different mouth shapes. So I can pretty much guarantee you it's an R with a tall mouth, and just see if you can make your voice blend with hers. Because my goodness, that's an amazing bit of singing there. Really, really lovely. Okay, everybody, let's move on and have a look at this beautiful Gaelic Blessing. If you've seen John's introduction, he very specifically asks me not to call it by the name that some people rather comedically have given it, so we won't. But he does also point out that it should have a slight feel of being around a campfire with a guitar. And in fact, you can even play the right hand on a guitar. So just have that sort of warm companionship feel to this one as we sing. This one is also, of course, in 3/4 and has this flow to it. Looking out for the hemiola rhythms, the deep peace of Christ. And again, just that flow to it. Da 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 dun, da dun, dun, dun. You are the part that just keeps that part moving. The sopranos have the lovely tune. The tenors have the wide leaps. You are the heart of this piece, all right? You're threaded through it. So let's enjoy together, with a feeling of singing around the campfire, the Gaelic Blessing. Here we go. deep breath and
Deep peace to you. Deep peace to you. Deep peace of the earth to you. Deep peace of the stars to you. Deep peace of night to you. Moon and stars pour light on you. Deep peace of Christ, of Christ, the light of the world to you. Deep peace of Christ to you.
Splendid. I can't wait for you to hear the full version of that on Friday. It's a particularly lovely version that Fieri have recorded for us. A couple of moments I want you to really enjoy and let go. That moon and stars pour light on you. It's a really beautiful bit of writing where we get that, and then the light. Suddenly you're up in that register, and it just makes that word light. Well, it makes it shine, doesn't it? Pour light on you. And then again, the light of the world to you. That moment where we sing, light of the world to you. When you move down from the B to the A, it is a really, really spectacular moment where we go from, let me get the harmony right, to that moment. It's the moment that everyone in the congregation or the audience goes, oh, and you are at the heart of that. Okay, so make sure you enjoy that. To you. The more pure you can make that ooh sound, the better time you'll have with that moment. Okay, enjoy that one, altos. Now let's move on. Let's sing Look at the World. And remember, so Julie Andrews, please, in full flow, make it nice and preppy and poppy, and then contrast it with that lovely refrain. Here we go, Look at the World. And it's a little bit louder. So the sopranos sing, look at the world, everything all around us. Look at the world and marvel every day. Look at the world, so many joys and wonders, so many miracles along our way. There's your note.
Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see all the gifts we share and every blessing. All things come of thee.
Take a deep breath and sing.
Look at the earth, bringing forth fruit and flower. Look at the sky, the sunshine and the rain.
Then tenors and basses sing.
Look at the hills,
look at the trees and mountains. Your turn.
Valley and flowing river, field and plain.
Nice and loud.
Praise to thee, O Lord. Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see all the gifts we share and every blessing. All things come of thee.
Now, tenors and basses, get the tune here. Think of the spring, think of the warmth of summer, bringing the harvest before the winter's cold. Everything grows, everything has a season, till it is gathered to the Father's fold. Ready?
Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see all the gifts we share and every blessing. All things come of thee.
Okay, full Julie Andrews moment, deep breath, and every good gift, all that we need and cherish, comes from the Lord in token of His love. Tenors and basses, we are His hands, stewards of all His bounty, and
His is the earth and His the heavens above.
Nice and big.
Praise to thee, O Lord, for all creation. Give us thankful hearts that we may see all the gifts we share and every blessing. All things come of thee.
deep breath.
All things come of thee.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, altos. That one is really, really lovely, really catchy. The bit that I said to the sopranos yesterday, it's just that little bit, all the gifts we share and every blessing. So I can just imagine when John got that exactly as he wanted it. He thought, yeah, that's good. Brilliant. So when you sing that one, just bear in mind that with the big tunes, it can get easy to over-sing this one. And at the very end, notice it gets quieter and quieter until the end is like a prayer, isn't it? All things come of thee. Keep it really gentle at the end. Okay, thank you, altos. So let's sing through this choral Amen. And as I said, this one's going to take some work. So what I thought I'd do is I'm going to just play the full version, but I'm going to play your line within it really quite loudly on the piano. So you have all sorts of things to rehearse with. You have my teaching track from earlier. You have this where I will play, we'll do it twice. I'll do alto 2 first and then alto 1, just because they're the order they appear in the score. And then you have the voices on their own. Okay, so let's sing this through. So the choral Amen, this is going to be with the alto 2 part played loudly on the piano. All right, here we go. So that was with Alto 1, Alto 2. I'm not entirely sure the piano was loud enough. Let's have a sing through that again with Alto 1 now blasted out on the piano. All right. Here we go. So same again, but with Alto 1 this time. Here we go. Fabulous. So that's with Alto 1. Be bashing up the piano part and singing as loud as I could as well. So you have multiple recordings to learn that one altos, and then of course on Friday we can enjoy just listening along and singing with that full version. So with 3 minutes remaining, let us sing together "The Lord Bless You and Keep You." And I of course will see you officially on Friday morning, but if you want to come along and sing with the tenors and the basses on Wednesday and Thursday of this week, you are of course more than welcome, altos. But I hope you've enjoyed today. It's been a great pleasure working with you. Hundreds and hundreds of altos coming along live to this session as we record this, and I hope you do please enjoy singing along with all of these rehearsal tracks. Do look out for messages from Mark, who'll fill you in on anything you need to know about the coming few days. Of course, Friday morning we'll meet together, we'll sing through bits and pieces. We'll also have a preview of our second week where I'll play you again just bits and pieces of our July week, where we'll be singing Zadok the Priest, the wonderful Quanta Qualia by Patrick Hawes, which I can't wait for you to learn, Ave Maristella by Grieg, Stanford's The Bluebird, and of course Parry's I Was Glad. And then Friday afternoon we'll sing through everything, and we'll have a bit of a celebration and tea and cake, as it is a British concert, British afternoon concert, and of course what you then have is a nice cup of tea. So everybody, to finish today, we will sing "The Lord Bless You and Keep You," and I hope he does, and I look forward to seeing you on Friday. So altos, thank you so much for today, and let's sing "The Lord Bless You and Keep You." Let's sing with the sopranos, just for fun. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you, and be gracious unto you. Let's sing. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you, and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon you. The Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon you, and give you peace, Ready, and one.
And give you peace, and give you peace.
Amen. And
Amen. Amen.
Altos, it's a huge pleasure to sing with you today. I hope you've had fun. I'll look forward to seeing you officially on Friday morning, though. If any of you want to join us, as I say, for tenors and basses, I'd love to see you. In the meantime, be well, take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.